wherever you may be in the world. I'm here live with you. I'm going live on YouTube, live on my blog. I'm going to take a look and see if I'm actually over there on my blog. And looks like I am. Cool. So, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me, whether you're joining live or watching a replay. I'm psyched that you're tuning in. The reason I invited you here today is to talk about the stress and the overwhelm and, frankly, the burnout that florists are experiencing, that all wedding pros really are experiencing. But in the floral world, I am just hearing it from everybody that I'm talking to. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. All I have to do is get through the next 3 weeks, right? Or this next weekend. And everyone's living in this space of just sort of tension, uncertainty, supply chains, price increases, clients who are a little bit late in getting back to us because they're overwhelmed as well. So there's a lot of things playing into this. So I want to keep this chat today on point for you and not waste your time. And I'm not here to gaslight you and tell you how your stress is only in your mind and you can you can so easily control this, just get a cup of tea and light a lavender candle and you'll be fine, right? That's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. I just want to be really real with you about understanding where you're at and empathize with you. I feel the stress too. Although I have systems in place in my business that I feel like allow me to manage my stress in a way where I'm not feeling pushed to the edge the way that I feel a lot of people are describing their situation to me. So while I empathize, I'm in it with you. I'm also kind of not feeling like I'm drowning in stress, like I know a lot of you are. And so that's why I'm here today with you. We're going to talk about going from that overwhelmed stress into taking control of your business. Because what your mindset is right now is your present way of being is going to dictate what happens in the future. Okay. So we have to get present right now with what it means to not be in this place of stress and reactionary, knee-jerk reactions to things. Or even if it's not knee-jerk, right? You're stressed for a good reason and it's causing you to make certain decisions in certain ways, right? We need to, if we plan to be not stressed out and overwhelmed, we need to start having our mindset get there now. All right. So that's why I invited you here today. And I'm really, really appreciate your time today. Actually, I took notes. I even highlighted my own notes. Okay. I am here to be serious with you guys. If you have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or water, your favorite beverage, have that nearby. If you have a pen and paper, great. If you are designing your little fingers off right now and you're just listening with one ear, that's fine too. Come as you are. But if you have time to take a couple of notes, write down a couple of thoughts, actually participate in what we're going to do here right now, I think you're going to feel better when this is done. At least I hope you will. So focusing on taking control back now so you can feel more in control right now in the present. All right. So the first thing, you know what, before I even start with my notes, first thing, take a deep breath. Even if you are holding a bouquet right now, you can still relax your shoulders and take a deep breath. Okay. We hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. I used to think that I just had chronic back pain when I was 19, but it turns out that it was from working in a flower shop. It turned out it was from the tension and tightness of working in a flower shop. Because once I had a few months where I worked at a ski school desk instead of working at a flower shop, that back and neck pain totally changed. It was not nearly as bad. So from a physical space right now, take a breath. As David Beam always says, relax your jaw, right? As your yoga teacher says, relax your jaw, because this is where we're holding on to tension. All right. So let's dive into it. Now you're super relaxed, right? Let's dive into it. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, let's talk about naming it. What are you afraid of? What is stressing you out right now? Um, Sometimes what's stressing us out is a fear or a worry of something happening, but not what's actually happening. It's a future thing that we're worried about. So, what is the thing that you are afraid of? Name the fear. So it could be, I'm afraid my flowers won't come in. I have a fear of losing money because prices have changed. I'm afraid of overspending on this wedding. Um, you could be scared that you might get sick and not be able to work or not have someone to fill in for you. So come up with a way for you to name it. If you are working, name it out loud if you cannot write it down. But if you can write down right now, what are you afraid of? Write down that question, name it, and write down what it is that is making you feel fear and making you feel inadequate, stressed, overwhelmed. Once you have taken a minute to do that, right? What's your fear? What is causing you the stress? I want you to list 3 true facts about what is real right now for you. So, ideally, we are keeping these more in the positive, okay? 3 real things, and they don't have to be, huge, big thinker things, okay? What is real? The sky is blue. The sky is very blue right now here in Vermont today, which is wonderful. Um, it could be that what is true? Coffee is your favorite thing right now. Without coffee, you would not be able to function. That could be a true fact for you. I love my dog. I don't have a dog personally, but if you have a dog, that could be a true fact. Just getting grounded here in what is real and true for you right now. And if you want it to be, if there is something good work related, right? This is just any true fact. It doesn't have to be work related. My flowers did come in actually this week, or I got a great sub for whatever was missing, right? What is a true fact for you? Trying to keep it just positive or neutral. Now I want you to think about what you're doing that is out of integrity. All right. Ouch, hard question, right? But this is one of the things that helps ground and bring things back into focus when we're like stressed, overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, I'm doing all the things. Oh, I have to do that and I have to do that. And the list, right? The mental ticker is going. But what is something that's going on in your life? It can be personal or business at this point that is out of integrity. What is not in alignment for you right now? So I'll share with you, this question was asked recently in a coaching session that I was attending. And it was like this, like a bolt of lightning immediately. I know exactly what it is. You know what it is? I have this outstanding bill that's late and that's out of integrity for me. And I can correct that. I can make that bill get paid because it's not that I don't have the money. It's just that I was too busy, too stressed, too overwhelmed to do the paperwork, to do the thing. So let me pay that bill. And now that one action is bringing me back into alignment, back into integrity. That may seem minor, small, right? Um, Yours may be something bigger, maybe something different, maybe something smaller. But when we're in this place where we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, right? I don't I don't know how you actually define your stress and your overwhelm. I don't know how you actually deal with your stress and your overwhelm. Everyone's going to do that differently. But if you can take a minute to be real with yourself about what's happening right now that's not you, that's not in line with your core values and the way you want to be doing things, you can take a step to change that. And that is going to be your first concrete step in taking control back and getting in charge of where you're going, right? Taking control back of your business so you can be leading yourself or your staff instead of only being able to be in this moment, only being held in this moment of stress. So what are you doing that's out of integrity? Like I said, it could be an outstanding bill. One of the reasons I pick that as an example is I hate when people are late paying me, right? I hate that. And if I'm late paying somebody, I feel like that's bad payment karma. Okay. So that's one reason why I pick on that. Something that might be out of alignment or out of your integrity may be that you are working during family time instead of being present during family time. Something that could be out of alignment or integrity could be you're blaming others for something that's not going right in your world. It could also be that you're lacking empathy for others, right? That can be something that's out of integrity. So just be real with yourself for a moment. What's something you're doing that you shouldn't be doing? Um, you could add to this list. Are you saying that you are stressed and tired, but you're not doing anything to de-stress, right? You're not taking any breaks, you're not taking any time to rest, and you're staying up late, so you're sleeping less. So you're stressed and you're tired, but you're doing nothing to get yourself realigned so that you can be less stressed or less tired. Okay? That can be something that you're doing that's out of integrity. If we have an intention that we want to be better, be the leader, be in charge, be in control, not feel like this, what are you going to do to not feel like this? You can take an action. Okay. So address what's out of alignment, address where you're out of integrity. It happens to all of us, right? No matter how hard we try, and get back to it. All right. Now, even though we're stressed, right? Even though the season has been hard and long for good reason, what do you enjoy doing right now? What are you enjoying about your work? If there's nothing you're enjoying about your work, then your life, right? What is going well? What are you enjoying? I can say this even in a stressful season. I still love flowers. I absolutely love working with flowers. I feel like that is such a joy and a pleasure and a gift that I get to do. So, if for you, you are still loving flowers, if you are all the way to this point in the season and you don't hate flowers, right? You can put that down. That's something you're enjoying. It could be something like my clients have been happy, even though all this stress is happening on my back end, my clients have been happy. It could even be you met your sales goal. Maybe you hate flowers and maybe not all of your clients have been happy, but you at least met a sales goal. All right. So I am not here, like I said, to like talk happy to you about how it's so easy to, just dust off the stress of the season and move forward with grace. It's not easy. And that's why I'm doing this chat, because I hear everyone out there talking about how hard it is and also beating up on themselves for, not being able to compensate for price adjustments in the market that are making it so it's eating into your profit margin, right? Uh, Focus on what is going well right now. Give yourself one moment of glory of what's easy and what are you still happy about? What feels good still in your business? Now, of course, on the other end, my next question is what is not going well? What are you not enjoying? All right. You can be honest and really say anything and everything here, right? It's just you. What are you not enjoying? And then the question is there any way for you to let go of doing that thing you're not enjoying? That, of course, means is there someone you can hire to do that, right? For some people, the answer will be no, I can't hire anybody because I can't afford it, right? Because I'm fill in the blank. There's always going to be an excuse, by the way, of why no one can do something except for you. No one can do anything except for me either. All right. So I feel you. Okay. I am you. But if there's really something that you are not enjoying in your business, name it for yourself, just so you can, like, you know what I hate? I hate billing clients. You know what I hate? I hate cleaning the flowers. You know what I really, really can't stand? the amount of time I am focused on Instagram because I feel lesser when I'm on it. I feel let down. I feel that FOMO, the comparison, and I am not enjoying that feeling. Now, could you outsource any of those things? Could you hire someone to clean flowers? Could someone on your staff do the Instagramming instead of you, right? Like these are things where you have to be real about, do you dislike it, but you have to do it anyway? Or do you dislike it and it doesn't have to be you who does it? Because identifying what's not making us happy, what we're not good at, what is bogging us down, and then finding a way to let go of that, if it is possible, that's going to be your shortest route to, hey, I'm feeling a little less stressed right now. Hey, you know what? This overwhelm is lifting because I've identified problem and solution. And that is what we do, right? As business owners, as floral designers, you got into this business, if you're like me, because you love flowers. I love doing arranging. This is what I'm good at. This is my calling. This is my talent. But what you really are is a problem solver, right? You are constantly solving problems. That's why the stress has kicked in, because you're solving problems at work, right? And maybe you're solving problems at home too. And it can be exhausting to be doing that all the time. But even just acknowledging the reason I'm tired is because I'm solving problems all day and not because I'm just weak and I just can't handle all that's coming at me. I'm strong, but this is a lot. And that's why this feels this way, right? If you can get help, get it. All right. My last question. So I have a few questions for you. This is the last question I'm going to ask you. And then I've got a few small rants on some mistakes that I'm seeing people make, and definitely don't tune out before the mistakes because they're kind of major for me. All right. So my last question for you, if you're on my email list or you're one of my Patreon people, I asked you this question already this week. When are your days off? When are your days off between now and the end of the year? If you haven't already done that, okay, I'll take a sip of my tea. I'll take a moment, pull out your calendar, look at it right now. When are your days off? If they're not scheduled, if they're not written down on your calendar or typed into your Google Calendar, however you do your calendar, I have a paper calendar sitting right here. Write down those days off. Write them down now. I feel like I should do the Jeopardy music. I'm giving you a minute because I'm not kidding. When are your days off? Write them down now. If it's only after Christmas, fine. Ideally, you have more than you have some time off between now and the end of the year. Okay. I don't care if you're writing down individual days, afternoons, mornings, partial days. Okay. Because you may work more than one job. So this may not be like, oh, I'm just going to take off Sundays because you're doing all the things. But you have to schedule some time off. If you're not scheduling the time off, you're not going to take the time off. So pick a day, pick several days, pick the week, pick the 2 week, pick whenever it is, get it on your calendar. All right. So I hope that's a little bit helpful in terms of getting your mindset thinking again about, if in the future I want to be in control, I have to start thinking like somebody who's in control right now. All right. Being in control of our business is our job. Being the leader and not being like sucked under a tidal wave of stress is part of our responsibility to ourselves if you work solo, and to your employees if you have people who are looking up to you, people who are looking to you for answers, and people who are absorbing your stress and overwhelm in your business that they work for, and their leader is in distress. And so it's causing them distress. Okay. We have to be, again, in integrity and in alignment. And if we want our staff to like proceed in a professional manner, we have to lead in a professional manner. And that means not like breaking down and feeling overwhelmed all the time. Okay. Okay. Are you ready for the mistakes? You're ready for these little things that I've been seeing that are driving me a little crazy. Okay. So, first of all, again, fully acknowledging that we are in fact busy and stressed. Big mistake I'm seeing are auto replies that are sounding very overwhelmed and stressed. Okay. So I have, people who enroll in my courses or sign up for something with me, you'll get an email. I send that email. And then sometimes if you have an auto reply set up, I will get your auto reply. So I see your auto replies out there, people. I see what you're saying to your people. And I am not impressed. I am not impressed with your auto replies that are telling me that you are so busy right now. This is what they sound like. This is what it sounds like. Dear client, your order is very important to me. I am sending you this email just so that you know that I got your email and I will reply to you when I can. This is a time of year. I'm not making this up, by the way. This is basically like 3 emails that I got combined into one. I'm kind of like mixing and matching it for you. It's a little mix up for you. I am in the studio or at the flower market or I'm on site doing an event and I do not have admin time right now. But your order is very important to me. By the way, do you believe my words as I am saying them? Because this is what it reads like, okay? It is like an invitation, right? It is uninviting. It sounds very much like you don't care about me at all, if I'm being really frank with you, okay? Your auto reply sounds like you are too busy for your life and like you need to sort that out on your time and then get back to me with an answer when you're ready instead of sending me this reply, which is 2 thumbs down from me, okay? So big mistake. Now, additionally, here's another step within some of these auto replies. There's also a line that says this: if it's urgent, please write urgent in the subject and reply to this email. Or they're even giving out like their cell number and saying, or text urgent to this number. People. Okay. The auto reply was a mistake in the first place. And now you're telling people if it's urgent, okay, urgent is intense. Urgent is like emergency. There's a problem here, life or death, okay? Why, if you don't have time to reply to an email, why are you now inviting people to tell you they have to assess their own urgency? Well, I'm getting married next year. This is urgent for me. It is urgent for me to hear from you because I'm getting married in a year from now. This is a huge mistake, okay? So, and these are happening in the same emails, okay? Auto reply, dear client, I care very much about you, but let me tell you all the problems in my life. Let me tell you what I'm up to. And by the way, if this is actually important, urgent, here's my cell phone number. All right? Please, with peace and love, people, if you have an auto reply like that, okay, I am talking to you and you, and I mean it. I mean, this is a huge mistake and you should stop it. Stop it right now. Okay. Go in and shut off that auto reply right now. I would rather not hear from you for 4 days, 5 days, or a week than receive that not good stuff from you that makes me feel unimportant, followed up by an email from you, because now what you've done is you're in this hole of impersonalness. And now you're going to try to convince me with your next email outreach that you are like trustworthy, authority, that you got this, that I can trust you. But what I know is that you are very busy and overwhelmed and stressed and unable to handle your workload. And the only way that I can guarantee I'm going to hear from you is if it is urgent, if this is a life or death flower matter. Okay. Please don't do that. Please honor yourself and your brand and your integrity, and honor your customers enough to not do business like that, to not take a shortcut of I'm going to do an auto reply that is going to anoint me, right? Because what you're doing is you're trying to absolve yourself of any responsibility of having to get back to clients in a timely manner, of having to weed through your inquiries to find out who are your ideal clients so that you can best serve them. And instead, what you want to do is just have this auto reply that goes out that says, I am absolved from having to deal with anything because I have this auto reply that tells you that I am overwhelmed right now. And so your order is important to me, but just not right now. Okay. So I just want you to know, again, peace and love. I love you. I know you are trying, but that is a tremendous mistake because you are not going to get the trust from the client. It would be better to instead of, okay, because here's what I'm going to venture to guess. Now, I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm going to guess that the same people who have this auto reply of I'm so busy are on Instagram for 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, maybe more. Looking, searching, replying, liking, seeing if anybody liked my post, okay? Instead of doing that, go into your email, sort out what's the most important, reply to them immediately, and let them know that you can't talk to them until 2 weeks from now, or 10 days from now, or Mondays when you'll be back in the office. But reply to them with their name, not dear client. Reply to them with information that's pertinent to them, not I could be one of 18 places right now because I'm doing so many things, right? I'm so busy. I'm so special. I'm so important. I'm so overwhelmed that I don't have time for you right now. Don't make the mistake of getting swept up in let's face it, we all get swept up in it, right? This whole copycat kind of thing. Oh, well, so-and-so did a reel. Well, I'm going to film a reel. If you're filming a reel and you're sending out an auto reply to people that says you're too busy, you're not too busy. You're busy on the wrong thing. You're busy thinking that follows, likes, and views are more valuable than the customer in your inbox. Those are real people, right? Like, even though these auto replies that I got are from an email newsletter that I sent out, they're not like me looking for, I'm not a customer for these people. I'm offering advice, inviting them to this chat, for example. I'm a real person who received their email, and you can tell it was not received well, right? I received it. I'm like, oh, ouch, girls. This is because they're all women that I got these messages from. This is not a good look. This is not a good look for your business, right? As an individual, as a person, I read this and I go, this person doesn't care. This is a person who doesn't care. They're following a formula. So you can easily correct it. Just go shut off the auto reply. Next time you go to log into Instagram, be like, oh, you know what? Gonna check the email instead, right? Gonna check the email instead and make sure that if I've got a bird in the hand, customer in the inbox, I'm not worried about, being on Instagram, pointing to words and trying to get attention. I've already got attention. I got them in my inbox looking for, giving me money, looking for a consultation, looking for a quote. And instead, hey, let me give you some tips. Okay. All right. I'm done with that. Next thing, while I'm on the tips, and no, you're not missing the words. I will never put words here. I'm just going to point because it's more fun to just point. Okay. Um, Educating clients is another mistake people are making right now. This mistake is happening mostly on Instagram, coincidentally, and it's happening a lot like this. There's a lot of these kinds of mistakes happening. Educating the clients in a condescending manner. That is what I am seeing over and over and over again. It's, people love to say this. Well, you need to educate the client. It's an easy throwaway line. It's so easy to say, right? Well, it's your job to educate the client. Okay. But there's a way. There's a way to educate the client. And part of that is that you need to have enough presence of mind, enough alignment, integrity, and plain old sitting down and doing the work of figuring out who your ideal clients are. Okay. Like actually digging into who your clients are, what they care about, what makes them tick. Educating the client should be hinged upon knowing who your client is and what they're looking for so that you can create education that invites them in instead of what I'm seeing, which is this really condescending education attempt. I'm seeing it over and over and over again. And I'm seeing it disguised as, do you want to know how much flowers cost? And then it is just like, what a turnoff when I see it, right? And I love talking pricing, by the way, right? I'm the flower math girl. I love talking pricing. But when we think that we are actually educating, but what we're doing is talking down to the client in a way that is super condescending, in a way that doesn't meet them where they are, but talks just below their intelligence level or what they need from us, it is a really, really big branding mistake. And I'm seeing a lot of people make it. So I want you to really, really think about that before you try to create your education. Think about, am I meeting the client where they are, or am I just doing this for myself? Again, it's the copycat thing. It's like, oh, somebody else did something about pricing. I'm going to too. If you like it, if it resonated with you, like you saw another florist did this, you're like, oh my God, that's so great. That's so smart. That doesn't mean it's going to resonate with your client. It resonated with you because you're a florist and you're like, damn, girl, you're putting those people in their place. You're letting them know how it is, right? Meanwhile, it didn't work for them and it's not going to work for you. All right. So I just want you to we need to get off the stress and overwhelm train of, okay, and now while I'm stressed and overwhelmed, I'm going to also educate. Okay. Take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, Lady Rule, I see you here. She says, good morning from California. I'm late and always miss your live streams. I'm happy to see your face. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Wild Blossom Design says, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we have a question. What about pushing out an auto reply when you send phone calls to voicemail? Hard no there. I guess I don't really. All right, question, pushing an auto reply when you send phone mails to voicemail. Auto reply needs to have intention. That's really everything with me goes back to intention. What is your intention? So why do I have the auto reply? The auto reply is, I think, to say its best purpose is to say, I am on vacation, right? I am out of the office between here and here, but I will get back to you when I come back. I think that is and even that I don't do, by the way. I do 0 auto replies ever. No one has ever gotten an auto reply from me. Maybe once, many, many years ago when I was actually away and I wanted to make sure people knew. I don't prescribe auto reply for any reason. All right. So she's saying, I find people don't like leaving a voicemail, so they call repeatedly. Okay. So one way I handle this is in my voicemail, and people make fun of it all the time, and I don't care. I actually say, like, on my home phone, I actually say, you've reached the home of Floral Artistry and, the Ellis family. Um, we can't take your call right now, but you can leave a message. And then I say, I don't check this voicemail very often. I know it's terrible, okay? All those auto reply people can now come at me with like how this is terrible. But I do. I say I don't check this voicemail often. And so if you want to get a fast reply from me, send me an email and then I give them my website address so they can go there and send me an email. And guess what? Guess what, Lady Rule? That's what they do. That's what they do. They send me an email that says, I left you a voicemail, but your voicemail said that you don't check your voicemail. And so I'm sending you an email here. So sometimes the intention is to lead the client, right? So if what you want to do is lead the client, the first question I have for you would be, what do you want them to do? What action do you want them to take? If you want them to leave a voicemail, maybe it's a matter of how you express what you want them to do in the voicemail. Say, hey, I know nobody likes to leave a voicemail, but really, if you do, I'll get back to you, right? So reach them. We have to be more one-on-one. As much as the world has gone to virtual everything, right? We want to be more one-on-one anytime we're doing customer service. That's why the auto reply is a big 2 thumbs down when it says, dear client, you're very important to me, but I'm very important and I'm very busy. And if this is really urgent, here's my cell phone, right? What? I don't even understand. I don't even understand what the purpose is of this. What action do you want me to take? So, what action do you want them to take, Lady Rule? That's my question. Should you send them an auto reply if they, you could, if it's something that's going to invite them to take the next step. So I would maybe send an auto reply if it was something like, all right, let's just say someone wanted to inquire about courses, right? And they send me a message about courses. If I could send them, oh, I don't know which course I should take, right? Can you get back to me? I could send them an email that's an auto reply, right? That's if I were going to do this, I wouldn't, but because I'd be like, let's get on the phone and talk. That's how I would handle that, right? But what if I went to say, hey, you'll be hearing from me again, not when I can. What is the promise? You'll hear from me within 24 hours. You'll hear from me between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, right? What is the promise? What's the clear deliverable of what I'm telling you I'm going to do? So you'll hear from me on this date, or within this amount of time. And in the meantime, if it would be helpful to you, what you can do is check out a full list of my courses here, right? Or fill out this form here to tell me a little bit more about you and your business so that when we talk, I have more information. Okay, so that would be the only, do you see what I'm getting at there? Like there has to be a place I'm looking to take them, a way I'm serving them with this auto reply. Otherwise, it's just serving me and my ego that I'm like, they got to reply because it's set up, but like no one cares, right? All right, I see your comments here. I switched to auto reply because people complain that my voicemail message was too long. I want you to place an order on my website, not over the phone. And if I have questions, I'll call you. Okay, perfect. So Lady Rule, I think that's what you want to say. I think your voicemail should just say, if you would like to place an order, please go to, say, your website address. That is going to be the quickest way to place an order. If I have a question, I'll call you. If you would like to leave a message, please blah, 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 right? Let them know what it is that you need to hear from them. But then at least I don't need to listen to your whole message to know that what you want me to do is go to your website and place an order like a civilized human being, right? No, just kidding. Some people want that voice contact, right? But sending them to your website is smart because they'll probably spend more from your website once they get there. All right. So I think that, let me know if that's helpful in terms of how to frame it for yourself. I think that that's what I would like to see you do in the beginning. Quickest, best way to serve you best and fastest. If you would like flowers ordered, go to our website here and place an order. We will call you. And if you leave a message, you'll hear back from us by the end of the day, whatever your terms are, whatever your promise is. All right, Wild Blossom, I see you here. Do you like or use a CRM system like Honeybook? I'm not a fan, but could be talked into it. So, there's a lot of, I don't use Honeybook. I know it's not specifically for florists. And so a lot of florists don't prefer it. I personally use a system called 17 Hats to do my invoicing, and I like that, but I don't necessarily endorse it as it's the best choice, right? It's just what I use and I like it. For my purposes, I've made it work. The thing is, again, whatever system you're using, it's about the intention. What do you want to get out of it? Will it actually streamline your process? Or is it just something you're doing, again, because everyone else is doing it, right? I know one of the complaints from a couple of different software systems that I hear is that it's looping everyone in on conversations, or it feels impersonal because it's set up with auto replies within the CRM system, right? So always just being clear about what it is that we're looking to do, what's the intention, and knowing what our customers want. Do they want that? I like 17 Hats personally because it allows me to make quotes quickly and have contracts signed online quickly. And so that's why I use it. But I don't use it because it's a visual thing, or, it's literally just the business, just the facts, ma'am. And it's been working for me for years now. So anyway, yeah, that's my take on that. All right. Lady Rule says 2 thumbs up here. So I'd love to see you change that voicemail and see if that helps solve your problem a little bit. Maybe that will do it for you. Sometimes it's funny because it feels funny to be like, you can leave a voicemail, but by the way, I don't check this, except that people take the action I want them to take, which is they send me an email and then I get back to them faster that way. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Want to wrap this up because I told you I wasn't going to waste your time today and keep you super long. I know some of you have been designing this whole time, and I appreciate you for tuning in. Just to wrap this up in a little bow, stress and overwhelm, right, is caused, it is taken in, it is digested, it is projected, right? We amplify it within ourselves, but it's up to us to start right now taking back control, even if it's just in our mind, even if we're still just got to get through this week, right? Taking back control of what is going to be in the future so that we can start acting right now the way we want our future to be. Because unless we want to be stressed and overwhelmed in the future, we have to stop right now. I had a couple of other notes I took down too. Oh yeah, here they are. I think I lost them. No, they're here. Just before you really check out, get back into your overwhelm, as we're thinking about taking back control, what does that mean in terms of next year? What is too much? How many weddings are too much? How many events are too much? What size events start to become overwhelming where you're like, you know what? I thought I wanted to do these big events, but guess what? It's actually harder. It's actually exponentially harder to do a $20,000 wedding than to do $4,000 or $5,000 weddings, right? It's such a different amount of work. And so where do you fall in that? Also, just being really clear with yourself, what is your sales goal, right? What does success feel like for you in the next, whatever your projections are, 6 months, a year, however you do it? How many events do you have to book to get there? Are you already there, right? If you're in a place of stress and overwhelm where you're not zooming out a little bit, you might be missing the fact that you're already booked for next year and you don't need to take more work. So stop sending the auto reply that you'll get right back to them and just let people know on your inquiry form, we're booked. Sorry, we're not taking any more inquiries, okay? And finally, and this is something we'll talk more about in upcoming weeks. All right. I got more content coming out this year for you guys. I got so many ideas of things I want to drill down with you guys on. What does your ideal client look like? When you think about, and I don't mean physically, right? although that might be part of it for you too. You might see your client in that kind of way. Everyone's different. What does your ideal client look like? Because then you can start, if you need to educate or share new content. When you're sharing content, you can make it tailored to these people instead of just following what everybody else is doing and thinking that, pointing to words is branding your business or marketing or reaching customers or going to bring in sales. All right. Because the truth is, it is not. It is not in the long term. That's for sure. So we're all on the hamster wheel. We all have plans to get off the hamster wheel. And I just want you to claim it for yourself and know that you're not alone in your overwhelm. I'm not here, like I said, to be like, listen, the stress you're feeling is all in your mind. It's not. Pressure is real. What we do is real work, real pressure, once in a lifetime events, right? Am I amping up your stress again? I can help you if you need some help de-stressing, getting off the Instagram hamster wheel, for example. I've mentioned this week over in my Patreon group. I have a Patreon creator page. You'll find the link. You'll find it on my website. You'll find it in my blog post over on Real Flower Business. You'll find it in Instagram, in my bio, and the links there. My Patreon creator page is a place where I share lots of behind the scenes stuff with you guys. And one of my favorite things that I share there are my blog and social media prompts. Now, notice I called them blog and social media prompts, not just Instagram prompts, because Instagram's not enough. Again, we're going to talk about that at a future date. But if you want a plan for how you will talk to your clients in a way that educates and elevates the conversation and elevates your brand versus just being like, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? Oh crap, what do I have to say? Right? Because we all sit there, and I know you sit there and you go, but I'm not a good writer. I don't know what to say, right? What you're writing matters. What you're saying matters. This is, especially if you're focusing a lot on Instagram, that's where you are sharing your branding message and you're doing a lot of writing. So it's better to have a plan on how you're going to do that. So you can make your own plan, map out what you're going to say for the month, map out what you're going to say for the year, or you can just grab my blog prompts if those would be helpful to you. You can use them for blogging and Instagram. Okay. And I tell you how to do that in the prompts. Patreon subscribers and the marketing mavens level get that level of detail from me. 5 prompts every month, and I always have at least 3 months worth of prompts up there. So you could get 15 prompts. There's probably even more of them up right now, to be honest. You can just go in there, grab them, right? And there's no obligation. You sign up, you can unsubscribe anytime. Okay. This is not like a lifetime commitment to blog prompts. But I do want you thinking, as you walk away from this conversation, you are the leader, you are in control, and you can get help, right? Maybe you can't hire someone to do your Instagram for you, but maybe these prompts, right? Having 5 like mapped out, here's what you're going to say once a week. That gives you a little framework to work within. Having a longer picture strategy for your branding will, I can guarantee it, take a little piece of stress just right off, like that little knot in your back, your shoulder there. Like it just might get like slightly looser if you're not feeling like I have to post, I don't know what I'm going to do. But instead you're like, I have these blog prompts. Allison gave me these blog prompts. They're made just for me as a florist. They're made just for me right now for October, right? They're relevant to the season and your industry. And they're going to help you talk about you in a way that brings clients in. And the more you do that, the more you talk about you and what you offer in a way that brings clients in, the better your branding is going to be, the better your marketing is going to be. And guess what? The lower, in theory anyway, right? Ideally, the lower your stress is going to be, because you're going to bring in the clients who are responding to the sincere message that you're putting out, really who you are, and not just like, hey, I'm so cool, right? I can point to words and I'm cool. I don't think that's cool. And I don't mean to offend you if you're doing it, because I know a lot of people are doing it, but like, do you like doing this? Because I can't imagine how much time it takes, right? To line up all these words to do the things when what you could be doing is actually talking to a real client and booking them. All right. And so that's why I want you to really think about not just the copycatting, not just the, well, Mark Zuckerberg says I have to do this, right? Because who's telling you you have to do this? It's Mark Zuckerberg, man. He's telling you, if you do this, I'm going to serve your post to more people. And we're like, oh, okay, you will? Okay, then I'll do this, right? Except that when he says more people, it's still only like 10% of your audience. So you're working so hard to only get seen by some people when that's not your goal. Your goal isn't to get seen by people. Your goal is to book paying customers. All right. And those paying customers can be reached on a more sincere level if you're willing to be more sincere. So again, those mistakes on the auto replies, not sincere, not sincere. Educating in a way that is talking down to the client, like, oh, I can't believe you thought you could get all this for this little money. Not good. Not even is it not good for the low budget client. Your higher budget client doesn't need to hear this noise. It doesn't even pertain to them. They're like, oh, this person must do really low budget weddings then if this is who they're talking to, because I don't need this education. I don't need to be educated. I'm willing to spend money on flowers. This person clearly must not be talking to me because they're talking about how I should be prepared to spend $5,000. I've got $20,000. This is not my florist, right? We don't want to be making mistakes that are pushing away good clients, pushing away our future clients because we're just thinking about what we want to say right now because it's Instagram and it's today and I have to post something, right? 2 thumbs down on that too. All right. So 2 thumbs down on the autoplay, 2 thumbs down on I just am doing this because everybody else is doing it. All right. That is also going to free up a little bit of your stress and overwhelm. If you don't feel like you have to do everything because everybody else is doing it, you got a little freedom. So take it, enjoy it. I love you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you're watching this on a replay later, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you taking any time, any part of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate you. I'll be back with more stuff in October, November, and December. I got all kinds of stuff to teach you guys. So if you're not already on my email list, head over to realflowerbusiness.com. If you sign up for anything free, any freebie courses or anything, we'll get you onto one of my email lists. And you can always email me anytime with questions. I'm happy to answer them as often as I can. And you won't get an auto reply from me. See, you'll know that. All right. Thank you again for watching. Keep doing beautiful work. Keep your eye on the prize of control. You can handle the stress, and it's up to you to figure out what you're going to do to de-stress a little bit every single day. All right. You got this. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.